Welcome to the Killjoy After Party.
Think the fun is over once you quit drinking?
Think again.
We have a booze-free beverage shop in Nashville, and we hear stories from our customers all the time about how much better life is after booze.
And we're excited to share these stories with you.
And since this is Nashville, you bet your ass
We're making it musical.
Yeah, it tastes like sunshine, like a real good time, lifting my mood and it brightens my day. Yeah. Gonna rise and go, no alcohol, get my sparkle roll. Yeah. Gonna rise and go.
Everyone off. It's great. The house is quiet. It's me and the dogs. And then I wake up and I'm ready to record an episode with you wonderful people.
All right, let's officially get things kicked off. We are so excited to be here today with Chris Marshall, the founder of Sands Bar and many other things. One of the, I want to say, OG folks in the NA space and a revolutionary. And we're excited to talk to you today, Chris. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be here. So excited for this conversation.
I think a lot of people are familiar with you. In my mind, you're very famous.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
For those who are not, can you just give us the very brief overview of the timeline? Like when did you quit drinking? When did you start Sands Bar? And what's current with you?
Hello, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Chris. I got sober in February 16th, 2007. As a result of me getting sober, I became a counselor, did a counseling gig for about 8 years, and then started Sands Bar. And Sands Bar is a non-alcoholic brick and mortar bar. And the idea is to have all the bar without the booze. I started that in 2017. As a result of opening Sands Bar, helped other people start their thing, did a tour. That's where I met all of you in Nashville. And it's been exciting to see what felt like a very isolated kind of idea that I had to see other people doing it. I think we all were collectively waking up around the same time, 2017, 2018, and realizing that we needed an alternative way to think about the way that we socialize. And that's Sands Bar. And that's other things that came up as a result of this movement, Ben Branson with Seed Lip and Ruby Warrington with Sober Curious.
Yeah, as you said, I think there was a collective awakening. I was certainly would consider myself sober curious through that period and kind of figure all the things out. Are you from Austin, Texas?
I grew up in Houston, Texas, went to school in San Antonio, Texas, and I live in Austin. So I've been all over Texas, and I can't claim one city more than the other. This is just my state. I love it here. When I was researching for Sands Bar, I found a couple of other ones that had started in 2015, 2016, and they didn't work out. And I called all the bars that I could find that didn't work out, and I asked them what happened. Like, they were just a few years ahead of the wave. And I asked them, like, if Ben would not have created Seed Lip, and if Ruby Warrington would not have created the Sober Curious movement, there just wouldn't have been the same momentum. And I would have been like everyone else who had tried a couple years ahead. I was just in the water at the right time. And that's why the idea wasn't novel or new. I'm not some great business person. I literally was just in the right place at the right time in history.
I think there's more to it than that. Calling people to learn about their failures is not something everyone does. We took a similar approach to stepping up the business incrementally. You started just doing pop-ups.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, I know Sands Bar has mostly been operating on Friday nights. Is that still the case or has that changed?
Yeah, we started as a pop-up. I had the first pop-up in 2017 in December. And then in 2018, we started doing these pop-ups wherever I could find space around Austin. Eventually, we did find a brick and mortar spot in East Austin. Very grateful for that spot. And we were open Thursday through Sunday. And that was the cadence that felt comfortable for a few years. But just before COVID, we were starting to really suffer. It was really not working out for us. There wasn't enough people. It wasn't even a big space. I think about the space that you originally had, and that's probably the shop size. It's probably what we should have had back then because there just wasn't that many people. And I was trying to fill a space that was too big. People would come in on a Thursday night and it would be like one other person in the bar. Friday would be great. Saturday, maybe 4 people the whole night. Sunday, almost no one. And what was hurting us was that people would walk in. First of all, they'd never been in anything like this before. People were coming in to check it out. They see New York Times and all these other great stories. And they come in and be like this lame environment, like where no one else is there. It's not cool. Like it didn't feel like it's a bar. It felt like it was just like a storage space with a mocktail or two. That's all. It felt very gloomy. And it was, gosh, it was tough. And so I tell people, like, I know you just got here, you've been here for 45 minutes, but if you just stay another 15 minutes, someone else is going to come. And when someone else is here, it's gonna feel like a party. I promise you, just stay. And they're like, we have dinner. I'm just not happy with this. There was just a lot of that. So it's like, I would beg people to stay. I'll even cover your tab. Just stay. And I just couldn't get people to do it. And so, yeah, COVID happens. I was shut down for a whole calendar year. I lived in the great state of Texas. It could have been open the whole time, but I cared about the community, cared about our customers, and cared about myself, frankly, and stayed closed for a year. When we came back in 2021, I can't. I have no idea. I have no idea what happened in my life from 2021 to 2024. It just all a blur. But yeah, we came back on Fridays. I remember we just were doing outside. We had this big, beautiful outdoor space. It was so lovely to have that much outdoor space and a stage for live music.
And this is the same spot you kept like that lease the whole time?
Yeah, so it was great because the people that owned the building, it was a church. It was a church called Mission Possible, and they were just so cool. They believed that this was a way for people to feel like they belonged. And it was great. They never pushed their message. They never asked us to push their message. There was 1 or 2 signs around us that this is a Mission Possible property. That was it. But they believed in what we were doing so much that when everything was being shut down, they were like, don't worry about it. We got you.
That's incredible.
Don't worry about paying rent. We are good. You come back whenever you're ready. And they're so financially situated. It's a very unique situation, but like they were able to do that when other people weren't. And they said, come on back. Fridays felt right.
Yeah.
And it was a cadence that I felt we could keep up. And what happened was because it was just Friday, those 3 or 4 people that would show up on a Thursday, or the 7 people that show up on Sunday, or the 20 people that might show up on Friday, they were all showing up on the same day. And it felt much better because now we have 30, 40 people in that busy bar hour. Felt like a bar, overlapping conversation, music's going, drinks are being sent out, bartenders running, dishes being done. Like it felt like what people were expecting. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. We moved from East Austin to downtown, a block from the state capitol. A company called Swift Fit Events found us and, hey, we're building this space. You ever thought about having a bar downtown? I'm like, no. Like, move in with us and let's make it happen. So I did and moved in with Swift. And I'm so grateful to that organization and Lee Ackerley. He's the founder of Swift and just a gracious human being, and was like, hey, I believe in what you're doing. I believe that this space could be a space that you can do amazing things with. And he's right. And before I started Sandsbar, I had this vision of what I thought Sandsbar would be. And it was just this beautiful space that had this energy that felt like everyone in that space could be the best version of themselves. And that people would come in and they would feel taken aback by just the vibe and the energy.
Sandsbar was a person. How would you describe their vibe?
Everyone's got that one friend that's like eccentric, but in the coolest way. And like when they like wear something that's vintage, it's like it works for you. Like it works. It's just that one friend that just like fits in every friend group, that doesn't try to be anything but itself.
You have been sober longer than most of the people that we talked to.
Have been alive.
Oh my
I
gosh.
thought you were like,
I'm just kidding.
A lot of people in this space. I often wondered, like, how do people almost maintain the enthusiasm for sobriety? Because I'm at about, I'm just over 4.5 years sober myself. And I'm like, it's not such a big deal anymore. You know what I mean? It's just is my life. It's not novel to me. I know that it is probably novel, or there's people listening to this who are considering it. But now that you're It's been almost 20 years for you. How do you keep it at the forefront?
I just hit 18 years. And that's part of the reason I wrote this book is that I realized that I really love being sober still. Most people are so on fire about their sobriety journey very early on, but then about year 2 or 3, it becomes the way that you live. And that's the way it makes sense, right? You've been doing something so long, it's no longer extraordinary. It just becomes the way that you live. And around that time, there's just a plateau. Life doesn't get bad, doesn't get good. There's nothing horrible happening in your life, but you just plateau. And it's hard to know where to go from there. And that's the reason I wrote the book, because I had that happen several times in 18 years of sobriety, where I just hit a wall and I don't know what else to do. And every time I get there, it's a challenge for me to look at what I don't want to do. And every single time, if I'm quiet long enough, I'll hear it. I'll hear, oh, write a book or make a major change in your life. These are things that I have the
And
tools.
you can't just cut bangs.
I can't do a big chop and that's it. But sometimes you have to do the thing you don't want to do. And getting sober teaches you how to do those things. And staying sober is about implementing those tools in as many ways as you can. But when life gets dull, when the job gets boring, when you're in the doldrums of sobriety and there's just no wind behind your sail, that is when it's time to look at how to move into your next chapter. What's beautiful about sobriety and what's hard about sobriety is that no one else is writing your story but you. Everyone has to be the author of their own story. And that's quite literally what I did with this book. I just was like, okay, what else can I do? I just feel like I've done so much. And it was just like, write a book. I don't want to write a book. I don't want to write a book. I'm a writer. I've been writing since I was 5. I wanted to be a journalist when I grew up, but I'm not going to write a book. I'm not going to do it. And the universe was like, nope, write the book. I'm like, I met all these people who had book deals and who had agents, and I talked to their agents, and they're like, write the book. No, I'm not going to do it. And eventually, it just got so painful 2 years ago. I was so just annoyed with life. It was like, again, nothing bad, but I was just like, it felt like when you put on like a wet shirt and you think it's dry enough to go out and like, you're like, oh, it'll dry up. And you're just like, no, it's not. It's still wet. Oh my gosh, it's gross. Like that's what life felt like. It felt like a wet shirt. It just felt gross. Like, it wasn't dirty. It was just like, ugh. It was like, oh my gosh, you just felt like, ugh. And so I had to write the book. That's what I've learned in 18 years is that there will always be a wall. And you just got to like decide how you're going to move through that hard moment.
Throw that shit in the dryer.
Shake it off, like the great writer Taylor Swift would say. You gotta do something.
Get a new shirt. Yeah. Say goodbye to that old shirt.
Gotta do it.
You could put a shirt on.
Yeah, I probably should. I should put pants on too, but that's not going to happen.
He's definitely wearing. Tell us about your book.
Yeah, so my book is called Faster Than Light, and it's the story of my own recovery journey plus starting an alcohol-free bar revolution.
Hell yeah, revolution.
I'm just self-publishing. I just wanted to be able to own my own narrative and own my story. I'm excited for it to come out later this year.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about that you want the people to know?
The book's coming out this summer. I'm on tour. So that's been a big part of Sandbar's growth is this tour that I started doing in 2019. I just knew that I wanted that first pancake, right? The imperfect, odd-shaped thing that people could see and say, you know what, I can do better. And I went around the country on my own budget with no idea what I was really doing. Did a pop-up in LA. I slept at LAX. I couldn't afford an Airbnb. I went to Anchorage, Alaska, because it was weird, like all the things that happened. Yeah. But I did this, and people would come to these events and say, this is cool, but I think we could do something like this in San Francisco. Okay, this is cool, but I think we can do something like this. We're in New York. We can do a bar like this. I really just wanted people to see like what I was seeing and seeing that was possible. There are people who are already doing amazing things, but touring has been a big part of what I've done because I just believe like it's important for people to see this. I've done that all this time, and this is, I think, the 4th or 5th time I've done a tour. I'll be all over. I'm going to Mexico City and Toronto. This is the first time I'm going to Mexico City. I'm excited about my pop-up there. If anyone's listening in Mexico City, please hit me up on socials because I would love to connect. I've been taking Duolingo for the past 79 days. Okay.
Quite a streak, my friend.
You know what? I'm like, this should have been here for my sobriety because the way Duolingo hypes you up, I've never felt so emotionally attached to a little bird.
Business idea right there is Duolingo for sobriety. We need this.
Ooh.
There you go. So I'm learning Spanish, and it's been amazing. And so,
What's your favorite Spanish word?
Alacron.
What does that mean?
Scorpion.
Ooh, that is a good one.
That's my favorite Spanish word. That's not my.
I don't know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those weird things that just get stuck in my head. I'm excited about learning Spanish because I feel like it will just give me more words to use and more language to describe the world, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Are we ready for the rapid fire round?
Let's go.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Say an adjective to describe you.
Joyful.
Most played genre of music at Sands Bar?
Soul.
What's your favorite NA drink right now? What you go to?
The phony Negroni.
Drink ingredient that you've used at Sands Bar?
Asparagus brine.
Ooh.
Brine.
Asparagus brine is one of my favorite drinks called the Verdant Lush.
What's your favorite way to move your body?
Jogging.
That's a good one.
What do you do for fun?
Shop at Costco.
Do you have a nickname?
Not anymore. I worked it off.
Why is Nashville not on your world tour list for 2025?
Just wasn't in the cards. I couldn't get sponsor dollars to take me there. And the tour was about twice as big as it was. And I just could not find sponsor dollars for Miami or Cincinnati, for Dallas. And I wanted to be in all these places. I'm at a place now where if there's not money for it, I just can't go. But I'm also going to do a book tour. So I think that this is like the Sands Bar National Tour. And then maybe in the fall doing more of just a book tour where I just travel from place to place. I've always wanted to drive from Texas to New York. And I think I could squeeze in Nashville.
I know what it was, at least when you were in Nashville, but what's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, Shania Twain, Feel Like a Woman.
Yeah.
I will share that I absolutely loved Chris kicked off karaoke at Killjoy by singing Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And it just set the tone perfectly. It was amazing. How many graduates of Sands Bar Academy have you had so far?
Ooh, I was trying to count the other day. It's well over 100.
Hell yeah. I love that. All right.
Hey.
It is officially time to get into songwriting. Have you ever written a song on a podcast?
No.
Have you ever written a song?
Yes, actually. But that's not Wheels on GarageBand.
That counts. Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
When I'm gone from this plane of existence, I'll have my children release my album.
Ooh, yeah.
So there's that, and then those two things. If you can read all that, I don't know.
When the day is done,
Life stinging
life's
you,
stinging
like
you like an alacron. Heavy is the weight of the sun. It's your prerogative to have some fun. A little fun, yes. Forget the old vanguard. It's a new era at Sands Bar. No one can write your song but you. So do what you want to do. It's your life. Everything will be all
you
right.
Start with that, or plug it in between.
Live your night. Yeah. In theory, it'll roll out like this.
All right, let's do it. This is what happens. Now we try.
It's good stuff.
Now we try. All right. So.
When the day is done and life is stinging you like an alacron, weighing heavy as the sun, don't let that stop you from having some fun. Forget the old vanguard. It's a new era at Sands Bar. No one can write your story but you, so do what you wanna do. It's your life. Everything will be alright. Live for the night. Dancing faster than light. It's your life. Everything will be alright. Live for the night. Dancing, dancing faster than light.
Let's go, girls.
Nice.
All right. We did it.
Yay! Excellent. That is
Chris,
wonderful.
Thank you so much for being here. This was really fun. And tell the people where they can find you and follow you.
They can find me on Instagram at sans_bar, my website, thesansbar.com. You can find out about my tour, the Sansbar Academy, and the book, Faster Than Light, which now has a song.
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. That's amazing. Thank you both so much. I love this conversation, and thank you so much. I listened to your other episodes. Amazing, amazing work.
Thank you for being the first pancake. You've been an inspiration to us. You're one of the early people that we looked at and based our game off of you, man. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
brightens my